Guys, how are you today? It's me, Super Soldier 13, and we have something to talk about. So, as you guys have probably heard on the news, there was a shooting in Highland Park. I will do my best to coverage as much as I can in this video, but you'll see my eyes will blink a lot. It's just a very shaken up experience. Basically, 4th of July started about 9:56. I get off the bus with the band. And there's an on my Instagram. I posted a video which I'll play for you guys right now. It'll pause for like a couple seconds, but yeah, that's the video. And that was maybe 20 minutes before. Then we get into line, we ride under the bridge, right on the train tracks, and we go. We're number 8th in the line. Usually we're number 15th, which I was very thankful we're not. But number 8th, and we're walking, we go down, I think that's St. John's or something. Yeah, it's St. John's. And we're walking down St. John's, and we turn the corner onto Central. And it's Central, we turn the corner right by the Chase Bank. And we're walking down, we pass train tracks, we go past, I think it was Walker Brothers. We keep going, we make another turn where Sunset it, not Sunset, was it Sunset? I don't remember. We're walking, and all of a sudden, so our band director, Mr. Shodorov, nicest person ever, nicest band director you'll ever meet. And all of a sudden we hear him yell, "Fucking move!" And we're like, what's going on? And I turn around, and the truck that was carrying one of the floats behind us was just speeding right towards the drum line. And I just assumed that something was out of control, so I move out of the way, running out of the way, and then all of a sudden I hear pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, oh, that's what's happening. And I just sprint for my life. And I'm like, what is happening? It literally sounded like he was using a machine gun. And so I'm running. And we get to the bus, and I turn around, and the drum line's just gone. They've disappeared. And Ryan, my best friend, was on the drum line, and I'm worried out of my mind because I didn't know what happened. We got on the bus, we're driving back, and I call one of the drumline members. I won't say his name for privacy reasons, but he gets on the phone with me, and he goes, I go, where are you guys? And they're like, you guys left us at Sunset Park. And I'm like, oh my God. And so they move us all onto one bus, and the other bus goes back to get them. Our band director, Mr. Chertoff, gets off the bus and goes to find them. Finds them, thank God. And they get on the bus, they go back to school, and we're at the school for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. They would not let us leave. Helicopters everywhere, shooting abrupt. And then the only reason I'm doing this from my car is it's the only safe, not safe, the only quiet part of my house right now. And we get to the school, and I just go thinking to myself, because I was in absolute shock, like, because Highland Park is one of the safest neighborhoods, and the fact that this can happen here is ridiculous. And we get to, oh my God, I remember running, and I ran as fast as I could. I threw up. I was tired as hell. I was running, and I just thinking, because my parents were there, and my grandparents were there, and they were maybe right under near the shooter, and I was just losing it. I could not bear to think of losing them. And so my dad's just calling me, and I'm just telling him, okay. My sister, I didn't know this at the time, but she and her friend had wandered off in the parade, and my dad didn't know where she was, and so I was worried. I get to the school, and I just blacked out. I fainted for like a second. I got help. I got stood back up. Ryan's parents were I was able to go home with them, and I left my car at the school. And it takes maybe 10 minutes to drive from the school to Ryan's house. We took a 35-minute route, because we went around Deerfield. And my dad comes to get me, and I just stood there in shock, because I could not bear, like, I saw him, and I just froze, because I was so happy that he was alive. You get back to my house, everyone's freaking out. I hug my grandparents, and I'm just freaking out. My right hand, it's not doing it anymore, but it was shaking for about 2 or 3 days, like nonstop. I don't know how to say that. Like, people will say that this experience can happen anywhere and it won't happen to you, but it can literally happen anywhere. For the first, on Tuesday, when I work at Tamarack Day Camp. My mom gets me to go to the camp, and I go there that day, and I could barely do anything. Because the other thing is, the original TikTok video, I'll probably play it right now, was on the news, and it's just me. The first thing you see is me holding a trumpet with an American flag on it. It's me, and you see me sprint. I was on 7 different news channels, several. My mom's best friend works at the Today Show, and she got my dad an interview at the Today Show, and then my dad got an interview on NBC and CBS or something like that, and he talked about me, he showed pictures of me, and so I'm on TV everywhere. The second I got on the bus as well, not to camp, but when we were running from the shooting, I got maybe 200 text messages from my co-camp counselors saying, "Are you all right? We saw the news. Are you all right?" Because everyone was seeing me on the news. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just shaken up. And I didn't know what to do, because from my experience, it seemed like we were maybe 10 feet from it. 10 feet. Because if you think about it, that's very close. My car is maybe 10 feet. I don't even know. We weren't 10 feet. We were like maybe 10 yards, but it seemed like 10 feet because of how close I could hear it. Not even a day goes by, maybe 8 hours go by, and they arrest the guy. Turns out he got spotted, and his name was Robert Bobby Crimo. I recognize that name because his brother, Sam Crimo, I went to middle school with. Nicest kid ever. His dad was the owner, Bobby Crimo or something, owned Bob's Pantry or something. It was a chicken place here in Highland Park. Nicest guy you'll ever meet. They're all Trump supporters, but there's that. But I was just in shock because, like, I knew his dad. I knew his brother. I didn't think that could come from them. But after seeing the videos that the police were showing online of him, like, he attempted suicide, he said that he was going to murder his family, like, everything. Like, I can't bear to think that this could happen anywhere. In fact, and even though he drove to Wisconsin after fleeing the scene, and he had a gun with him, and he thought about committing another mass shooting. I'm still shooken up for this day. Like, I now have to go outside with the thought that I could die at any second. The FBI, everyone, the response, I will give credit, the response time to this was insane. Pritzker's speech was amazing as well, but the response time, the Chicago police, the Highland Park police, Deerfield, every city nearby, the FBI showed up. Well, obviously the FBI, but everyone showed up on time. It was a lot. It really was a lot. I don't know how to say that I'm scared for myself and for my family, because I don't know how to deal with this now. It's been 5 days since that happened. 5 days ago right now, I was sitting in the bedroom, shriveled up crying, because at any moment that shooter could have came right at us right now, and we would have been dead. And to the 7 people that have lost their lives and their families that are mourning, we are here for you. But the fact that we now have to be scared to go outside is just ridiculous. One of my campers at camp, his mom and grandma were shot. Not killed, but shot. And he found out on Tuesday, and he just stood there and froze. He's maybe 6 years old. And his dad had to tell a 6-year-old child that his mother and grandma were shot. Like, it's just ridiculous. There was an 8-year-old boy, I heard on the news yesterday, who's paralyzed from the waist down now, and his dad and his mom didn't know how to tell him that why he couldn't move his legs, why he couldn't stand up. And like, I'm thankful that's not me, but at the same time, it's just a lot. I was planning on recording a 4th of July video with Ryan and Brian about the fun things we were gonna do. But that video got scrapped. Completely scrapped. Like garbage down the drain. If you're out there right now and you need some advice or whatever, just listen to this. For the Highland Park community, everyone is doing everything they can to try and not move on, but just think about what this has done to our community. Because we will never be the same, ever. And the steps you take don't have to be big. They just have to take you in the right direction. This is Super Solinger, signing out for I don't know how long. Goodbye, all.
That's right, Mugo and Audrina, we're getting some video, and social media often tells this story first. Sometimes you got to be careful what you're absorbing from social media, obviously, in these critical first minutes, but we want to play for you some video we just got from TikTok, and I want you to listen as much as you watch. This is our first audio that we're getting of the possible shooting this morning just after 10 a.m. as the Highland Park 4th of July parade kicked off. Let's roll that video.
Hey!